I would like to read this morning. It's this morning for me, but you'll be probably seeing it also in the evening because I'm on two channels, morning and evening. My Guru said, in relation to not just wanting goody-goody disciples or yes men, he said at the same time, some people, when you call them, mutter groggily, "Don't bother me, I'm sleeping." Others, if you shake them, stretch their arms a little and even sit up. But the moment you turn your back on them, they fall back to sleep again. The kind I lack are those who, as soon as you call them, leap up, fully awake and ready. That is why I challenge my audiences. How is everybody? Awake and ready, they reply. God won't reveal himself to spiritual sleepyheads. Because that's a short saying, and the next one ties in well with it, I'd like to read also, this is 228. It is, of course, bad karma that takes people back to the world. God gives everybody a chance, however, to snap the karmic bonds. You can do it. Everyone can. The problem is, so few make the effort. Too many people want God to do it all for them. Like that story that I've told of this brother disciple of mine from Bengal who was light-minded. My guru scolded him. He said, "You keep the others always in a restless state that way." And the disciple answered, "Well, I know it, Master, and I know it's a fault and I want to change, but how can I do it without your blessings?" And Guruji answered him, "My blessings are there already. God's blessings are there. It is your blessings that are lacking." You see, if somebody wants to pour out a cup of tea for you, but you have the cup turned upside down, he won't be able to do it. And if our hearts are not receptive, then God and Guru will not be able to come in. So really speaking, your effort is primarily making yourself open to their inflow, to their blessing. As my Guru said to somebody, "As long as you keep me out, how can I come in?" And Jesus Christ said something similar in the book of Revelation. He said, "I stand at the door and knock, and those who open, I will come in and sup with them, and they with me." But to open the heart is what is meant. You should open your heart to God, and he will lead you to a guru, or first of all, he leads you to books, and then to lesser teachers, and finally to the guru. When I speak of my guru, he is somebody who has left the body. And people say, well, then you can't have a guru if he isn't living. And my answer to that is one that he himself gave, that he, as he said, those who fall by the wayside, my devotees will pick up. He does have to work through channels as long as we are in this world. You can, certainly in my effort as his disciple, is to bring you gradually to the point where you feel more and more in tune with him. But I can help you with that. If you don't want my help, that's fine. But I offer that. And the point is that we cannot really do very much without God's help, because the truth is we can't do anything without God's help. We can't breathe, we can't think, we can't walk. Everything is God. All the energy we use, all the consciousness we use to think, all the wisdom we use to understand, it all comes from him. He is the doer in everything. But he has so arranged it that none of us can sit back and let him do it. That was my brother disciple's fault, which my guru tried to correct when he said that your blessings are needed. Your blessings imply primarily opening yourself up to receive, but even in the receiving, you have to do. Because if you say, well, I'm open to you, just fill me, it doesn't work that way. It's really as if God came in and the divine blessings come in through the back door. You have to do the effort. You have to make your house clean. You have to unlock the door. All these things are absolutely the spiritual path in a nutshell. But this means, of course, that kindness to other people you have to express. But the more you express His kindness through you, rather than saying, I am the one expressing kindness, the more pure that vibration of kindness will be. When you want to explain something, I have seen again and again in my life that when I tried to figure it all out by myself, it didn't work nearly so well, and usually I have to say that because I have tried to express truth, it didn't work at all. Because you can't put truth together. You can't figure it out. But you can open your mind up and ask that question. I've said this before, it's well worth remembering. God gives you blessings and gives you His grace according to the kinds of questions you ask. If you are a mathematician, God is not going to think, well, I happen to be in a musical mood today, so I'll give you a melody. What would a mathematician do with a melody? Unless he's a musician also. God answers, in other words, according to your particular, the path that you have opened up. And usually that means through whatever talents you have. I remember when I was a very young disciple in the ashram, we were building a new building. It was at India Center. And it was all hands on deck. So Master had me there helping also. Well, I don't think that I have opened up a channel as a carpenter because I was not very good. In fact, I was horrible. I would hit at a nail 9 times before finally hitting it, and often when I did hit it, it would go in crooked. And I remember when I was trying to build Ananda in the beginning, I had a few friends working with me, but I finally had to admit that it just wasn't my métier. And I remember on that job when I was a young man, and at the end of the job, I said to the foreman, Andy, I've certainly learned a lot on this job. He looked at me and he wasn't able in his integrity to say anything. Well, I think I must have learned something, but it wasn't anything compared to what he was expecting of workers. In other words, that isn't a channel that I have opened up. That doesn't mean that I look down on people who have opened it up. I greatly respect them for having a skill that I don't have. But really, why not work with what you've got and develop that? I've noticed that some people, for instance, I used to know an old woman, not that old by compared to me, but let's say 65 is old by most people's standards. And she had decided that she wanted to become perfect. And to become perfect, she had to become a millionaire. Well, that's simply ridiculous. At the age of 65 to want to be a millionaire, and what is that in the way of perfection, even once you've done it? Yes, if you have the skill to make money, you can use it, and it may help you to develop, especially if you use that skill to help other people, to teach other people, or also trying to develop the same skill. But making money is by no means a talent that necessarily will take you to God, nor, I have to say it, is any talent. I have a certain gift as a poet and a composer and a writer. I don't think that's going to take me to God. I'd be foolish to think so. But if I offer it up to God and use those talents to try to help people to feel more in tune with God, well, that's the right way to use your talents.